Running is a great way to get fit, feel better and even form new relationships with other runners. Starting a new running habit doesn't have to be hard, all it takes is a comfortable pair of shoes and a willingness to move a little or a lot, all at your own pace. Are you ready? Let's go. The absolute best way to keep yourself running is to find a race, sign up for it, pay for it and put it on your calendar. A fixed race date will help you stay focused, and keep you on a regular running schedule. A beginner can run any race, you just need to allow enough time to train for it. Pick your distance and use an online race finder to help you find the right race for you. Some people are natural heel strikers while others tend to lead with their toes. The good news, neither form is inherently better than the other. And you are less likely to become injured if you simply maintain your natural stride. The more you run, the more comfortable that stride will feel and, even better, the more efficient your body will become.
The run-walk method is a great way for new runners to get started and for experienced runners to improve their race times. Contrary to what you might think, the technique doesn't mean walking when you're tired, it means taking brief walk breaks when you're not. You can pick whatever ratio of walking and running that works for you. Taking walk breaks makes marathon or half-marathon training less grueling and reduces the risk of injury because it gives the muscles regular recovery time during a long run. Some runners don't like the walk break method because they believe a race should be run from start to finish, without stopping. If that's your goal, go for it. Here is the basic formula for a great training plan: train 3 days a week. Run or run-walk 20 to 30 minutes 2 days a week. Take a longer run or run-walk 40 minutes to an hour on the weekend. Rest or cross-train on your off days. Run at a conversational pace. Consider taking regular walk breaks.
Most new runners start with a 5K, a 3.1-mile race that is typically less intimidating than a longer race. Your local 5K will attract a fun and relaxed group of new runners and walkers, as well as more experienced runners who like to go fast. For this plan, you will run for 30 minutes every Tuesday and Thursday, and for longer distances on Sundays. Remember, you can always use the run-walk method instead of running the entire distance. Training time will take about 7 weeks. Ignore shoe sales pitches about pronation or high arches and don't be swayed by brand names. Instead, try on 4 or 5 running shoes, jog around the store and let your feet decide. In a sweeping review of the science on running shoes and injuries, researchers found that the most important feature of a running shoe is comfort. That's it. Choose a shoe that feels good.
While most runners focus on shoes, socks can be important too. You want a breathable and a snug sock that's not suffocating. Some running socks are made from a sweat-wicking material that draws moisture away from your feet, preventing bacteria from accumulating between your toes, which inevitably leads to foot odor. Look for a sock without thick seams and decide if you want a no-show sock or one that covers the back of your ankle where shoes sometimes rub. Test them out to see how they perform when you run and sweat before investing in multiple pairs. Running should feel like a reward. If you're a runner who likes the quiet and solitude of running, then pick a bucolic path and go run. But many people like a combination of upbeat music or short podcasts or books on tape to accompany them on the run. Every runner needs a timing device to help manage his or her training. Whether you choose a standard watch or a high-tech GPS watch or your smartphone, it doesn't really matter. Just pick the timing device that works for you.
Make a fist. That's about the size of what you need to eat before and after you run. So, think appetizer, not meal. It should also include carbs with some protein. One of the biggest mistakes that new runners make is to not eat at all before exercise, so you don't have any fuel to keep you going. Plan to eat 1 hour before your run to boost energy without upsetting your stomach. Hydration is a big concern for new runners, but it shouldn't be. The best tip for staying hydrated during a run is to drink when you are thirsty. You can carry a regular size water bottle in one hand when you run, or you can plan a route around a few water fountains. Electrolytes are water-soluble nutrients, like sodium, that can leave the body through sweating. So-called sports drinks can replace these electrolytes in the body. However, the length of your workout should be the guide for what you drink. If you run for less than an hour, water is just fine. After running for an hour, your body begins to need those nutrients, so a few sips of a sports drink can help you maintain your energy levels. You can drink too much. So, don't gulp down bottles of water before a run, thinking it will prevent you from getting thirsty. Drinking excessive amounts of fluid will not prevent you from cramping or prevent heat-related illnesses. So, drink when you need to, and don't overdo it.
Running burns calories, which means your body will be hungry and you may begin eating more than usual. The result for many new runners, surprisingly, is weight gain rather than weight loss. To avoid that, try working out for 30 minutes instead of 60. The shorter workout will still get you in shape, burn some calories and help you get ready for race day, but it won't leave you starving for more food. 1 mile of running burns about 100 calories, but that doesn't mean you'll lose a pound for every 35 miles you log. Running more will make you hungrier and likely to eat more. The level of intensity or running up a hill will increase the amount of calories you burn. Your body will be tired, so you may sleep a little more. All of this will affect weight loss. If you eat a balanced diet and try to maintain your calorie intake as you run, you may also lose weight as you become more fit.
You don't have to waste your time sitting on the curb touching your toes or pulling your legs backward to stretch your thigh muscles. While there has been recent evidence that static stretching can prevent acute muscle injuries like tears or strains, such types of injuries are uncommon in runners. In fact, holding a stretch too long can even make your muscles less powerful. The bottom line? If you don't have time to stretch or warm up before you run, don't worry about it. If you like the way stretching feels before a run, go for it. Just don't hold your stretches. Keep your muscles in motion to prevent straining them before you hit the road. Nothing can ruin a good run like a side stitch. Runners who regularly slouch their backs are more likely to experience those spasm-like cramps in their abdomen. When you feel a stitch coming on, take a deep breath to arch your back and try to run more upright. While side stitches are generally felt above the hip, sometimes they can be felt all the way up to the shoulder. However, if the pain persists for more than a few minutes after you slow down, especially if it's on the left side of your body, it could be a sign of a heart attack. So be cautious and see a doctor. Cramps during exercise could be a result of overexcited nerve endings, probably as a result of fatigue. Studies of triathletes and ultramarathon runners have found that those who cramp during a race tend to be racers who bolt from the start, setting an early pace that is much faster than their normal training speed, inviting fatigue. They also often have a history of the condition, suggesting that once a muscle cramps, it is primed to repeat the spasms. Luckily, treatment is simple. Stretch the affected muscle. Stretching seems to quickly calm the manic, misfiring nervous system connections in the muscle. Some athletes swear by a swallow or two of pickle juice, which is known to alleviate cramps. The most common running injuries involve the feet. The repetitive banging of your heels and toes on the pavement can cause some real aches and pains. Many runners take pride in the blisters, calluses and bruises, not to mention the loss of a toenail or two, that inevitably occur after logging mile after mile of their runs. Unfortunately, besides getting comfortable shoes and some top-notch, there isn't much one can do to avoid those types of injuries. The good news is that the pain of one of the most common foot injuries, plantar fasciitis, can be alleviated with a simple stretching routine.